right, stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to.
Hey, yo, listen to Mikey Barxxx
Not the aftertaste
on the Wine Night Podcast.
All right. So, I was sitting on the toilet today thinking like, damn, like, what do I want to talk about?
That's crazy.
Like, what do I want to talk about? I think I have my best thoughts while I'm on my throne. And I was like, you don't really have to live the music that you listen to. And like, what I mean by that is like.
So you mean I can't like be in the car?
No, you can, but you don't have to. And what I mean by that is, just back in the day, like when they used to always tell us, stop trying to be the gangster rappers and shit like that. Stop trying to be a thug. Like for us, like when I was a basketball player, like stop trying to be a thug, just be a basketball player. Stop trying to live the music that you listen to and shit like that. Don't try to live that life. I think a lot of times now I see a lot of people trying to live I'm speaking mainly about men, trying to live the life of these trash ass R&B artists in their real lives with the women that they're dating. And it's like frustrating because it's like, you can appreciate a song, right? You can appreciate a life. I mean, a song, like a life that's being told in a song, right? Like I could appreciate Party Next Door. That does not mean I have to be emotionally manipulative. It does not mean that I have to be like serial cheater. It does not mean that I have to, just be a liar. Not saying that that's all Party is, but it's like with that style of music that's come up with The Weeknd and Party and all those, like, what do you call that shit? Like neo R&B or some shit? Like, I don't know what the fuck you call it.
That's trap R&B, ain't it? I don't know.
I don't know. But that sound right there, like, I just feel like in general, everybody's like glorifying being trash. Like the music that we're listening to. And it's just like, yo, you don't have to like, why don't you be better than the music that you listen to? And like, again, like I never used to be like, oh, music has an impact on what you do until I started to realize like, yo, depending on what the musical, I don't know if the music is mirroring what the people are doing or the people are mirroring what the music is saying, but it's like, there's clearly a correlation. It's been 20 to 30 years of hip hop now, hip hop and R&B in the Black community, and the two are correlated. So first of all, I guess we could start there. Do you agree that there's a correlation?
Yeah, but I don't know, like you said, if it's the chicken or the egg that came first. You know what I mean? Like, or maybe we do know, like maybe hip hop it came from the culture. So I guess technically the chicken was first, right? Or the egg, I don't know. The chicken came first. I don't know.
Well, I would say that we're following the music because, and here's what I mean. Yes, for some people, right? When they make the music, they're telling their life, right? But that's one person. That's one group. And that's one person, maybe that group that they're from, that region that they're from or something like that, right? But then what happens is when it becomes mainstream and then it starts to touch everybody, then those people, the masses now, are following that music. So granted, at one point, yes, the music was mirroring the people, but I think once it starts to reach the masses is when the people start to mirror the music. And that's when you start to see,
I can see that.
People all over the country, dressing like people from places that they're not from, or using slang from places that they're not from, because that thing started to reach the masses now. So, like, again, like, I think about, when gangster rap was a thing, and, boom. Remember when Lupe came out? Everybody was a skateboarder. You know what I mean? Then, like, move forward a little bit. Drake comes out, everybody's in their feelings and talks about how they feel, and everybody's open and shit like that, right? So I don't know, it just starts to get me frustrated because it's like you can appreciate that without having to actually act like it. And I think sometimes that people start to act like the music that they're listening to. Might be a shitty hot take. I don't know.
I don't think that's shitty. I mean, it's just, again, I don't know. If we're saying 2020, like, what does it look like? Like, who came first? I don't know. Like, I would love to say that the music is mirroring what's happening in the time. But like you said, I think sometimes the, media in general definitely influences how we dress, how we speak, what we eat and shit, where we go, like how we have fun, what we value, what we don't value. So I think it does a little bit of both. I think that there's some genuine music out there, and I think people can tell the difference, right? Like somebody who's genuinely about whatever life they're talking about versus somebody who's just a spectator. I would hope, however, that doesn't always happen. And I think it does have some very dangerous like concepts. I think in terms of dangerous lifestyles, that's where I kind of get a little bit worried, right? Like, you don't need to take the perk. A lot of them not taking the perks.
They're really not. Like, I really want y'all to know that they're really not doing the
All
drugs.
of them are not on drugs, at least as hard, or those hard drugs they're talking about. They might smoke a little weed, but who don't? Listen. Right. So it's like, I don't know, like, you don't have to cheat on your girlfriend. They're married. I don't know. It's one of those things where it can be very dangerous, right? If people are not able to differentiate, like, oh, this is specifically for mass media and not necessarily like the truth. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm on my Angela Davis today, so I couldn't tell you.
So then with that being said, right, do you think that there's actually, I'll say a statement and you tell me what you say to it. Like, I encourage people to be better than what they listen to in the media that they take in, right? Like, don't just say, oh, like, how many times have you hear people say, man, I feel just like such and such. It's like, right, you can feel that way for now, but what are you going to do to be better? I mean, than the music you're listening to, the people you follow on Instagram, that meme that you just saw, whatever the case may be, it's like, ha, 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 ha about it. But recognize that, like, it's not funny when you're hurting people. Like, you're hurting
yourself. Yeah.
You're hurting yourself. And it's like, I don't think, like, we take that into account as much as we should, that, yeah, it's funny to get a laugh, to get some likes, to get some, reposts, whatever the case may be. But it's like, being quote unquote crazy is not cool. You know what I mean? Or being emotionally manipulative, or being a liar, cheater, thief, all that type of shit. It's like running off on a plug is not cool, bro. In any context, like, that shit is trash. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like,
we had that conversation earlier or a couple of days ago. I was telling you how I'm trying to distance myself from designer everything, right? Like, everything doesn't have to have a specific label on it. Like, I was shopping for soundbars and I'm like, if it's not Samsung, I'm not getting it. If it's not Sony, I'm not getting it. Like, for fucking what? Like, if the sound is good, like,
sound is good, the sound is good. What's
good? If you like the bag, buy the bag. If you want the shoes, buy the shoes. Like, we get so caught up, and I like, my addiction would probably be Instagram, right? Which is why I have to take multiple breaks from it, like, all the time. Because after a while, it does start to influence your decision making. Like, she's got this shoes and I got those, but I want hers because obviously she's an influencer. She knows better. Just buy the fucking thing. Like, do whatever you want to do that fits you and not try and be somebody else. So I could definitely understand, like, who's it for, right? Are you doing it to fit in, or are you doing it because you genuinely like those things? And that takes a lot of deprogramming and a bunch of different ways. So I feel you.
Going off of that, like, I could talk about that for days. Like, as someone who's like avid sneaker collector and stuff like that, I used to be sad, like, damn, like, I want to get these, but it's like, it's a general release. Are people gonna fuck with these? And after, you gotta be like, stop. Like, if you like this shit, like, everything don't gotta be a fucking limited edition release, or everything don't gotta be a collab. Like, if you just like a pair of shoes, you like a bag, you like a shirt, fucking buy it, bro. Shit, make it in style.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. But that's what I got for the Aftertaste, y'all.